Ahoy pillagers and pilgrims, Liquorless here with some information which may turn your unorganized disaster of a crew into a fully functioning crew of naval combateers. Do you remember that time when you sunk because your crew was jumping all over the place trying to board enemies and feeding your boat to the sharks in the process? I do. I recently played with some new players and was reminded of the struggles of miscommunication and having no one to repair my rapidly sinking boat. So on that note, I've decided to make a
pirate communication guide.
Ship combat is all about managing your resources and working as a team to keep your ship afloat, but also attacking the enemy on all cylinders tactically and efficiently and not sinking in the process. So in order to do this, you need to communicate well with your team and make clear, informative calls which will feed your crew with the information they need to work around to be successful. So let's go over all, if not maybe most of the events and activities you need to call out to your crew when sailing to keep them safe and sound.
Hey guys, I'm dead.
Yes, this is one of the most important call outs your team needs to know how many hands they have on deck, so they can split roles if needed in heated times. If your teammate thinks you're downstairs when you're actually dead, this leads to your team thinking someone is there to repair when you're actually in the dead realm, so kind of important.
Everyone, I'm going for a board.
Always check with your team to some extent or know your current situation before you go to board an enemy ship. And also you need to confirm if you've made the board or not with your team. I think we can all relate to the countless times your crewmates have gone for a board and you've run out of deck hands to stay afloat because they didn't check prior or know what was going on. If you've sailed with your crew long enough, this becomes more natural and you'll learn to seek the right moments for boarding, and your crew will know your playstyle, so they expect certain things from you or what you go for.
Hey guys, we got a boarder on the right side.
Calling out boarders is super important, and you need to make sure your whole crew knows someone is boarding your boat, because in the next minute you could all be dead and some guy could be crab dabbing all over your banana barrel. It's also key that you inform if they've made it or not, so that your crew can come and help you kill the guy before it's too late.
Hey everyone, I'm grabbing my mermaid. I'll be back soon.
If you're off your boat at any time and something's popping off on your boat, you need to let your crew know when you're grabbing your mermaid back, or even give like an ETA if possible, because letting your crew know when you're on the boat will help them make plans so they can do things differently. Someone can repair or someone can shoot guns. It just helps the person driving know what's going on and what they can plan to do.
Hey guys, I'm on board right now. One dead, maybe two dead. Oh, 3 dead.
If you've managed to successfully board the enemy after, you need to let your crew know. It's key that you also letting your crew know what's going on the ship, how many enemies you're killing or what they're doing in retaliation. If you've got 10 blunderbusses chasing after you, let your crew know. Even if you're having a dance off, your crew needs to be kept in the loop so that they can cannon top deck and help you out, or even send another helping hand.
Quick everyone, we need to subscribe to Liquorless.
Wait, what? What do you mean that's not relevant? It's clearly known my subscribers have a 7.2% damage buff in battle. I mean, come on. Okay, fine. Next point.
Hey everyone, we got a broadside on us. We better get down.
Let your crew know if a bombardment of cannonballs is coming, if you can, so they can act defensively or prepare for repairs before you have no crew left on your boat. And also, let your crew know how long till they need to be on cannons, ready to shoot the enemy. There's nothing like having a crew on cannons with no cannonballs and not ready for attack, or everyone being blasted off your boat. Not everyone's looking around the boat when they're running around like crazy chickens, so make sure you let your crew know what's going on when you're approaching enemies, you know, the positioning of the boat, when people need to get on cannons or when people need to board. Just be informative if you're driving and let everyone know what's going on.
Hey everyone, I'm turning the ship to the right.
As a navigator, your crew needs to know where the boat will be in the heat of battle, so they can anticipate cannons or move the sails before you angle the boat. Also, if you're leaving the wheel turned in the heat of battle, let your crew know so they can correct it if their captain gets a cannonball in the face or anything happens. You never know.
We need repairs.
Sometimes repairs can be overlooked in the heat of the moment, and before you know it, your boat is creaking and plunging into the ocean. So make sure you ask your crew regularly to check for repairs or just do repair. And also bailing. Bailing is so important when it comes to communication. You need to make sure you're calling out how much water is in the hole and how many people you need to bail, or just yell at them to get downstairs and take a bucket like right now. The more your crew knows, the better they're going to react to it. Generally, what I go for is just say the boat is sinking. Everyone will rush to the bottom and grab a bucket. So, yeah, there's that. And finally...
They have kegs in their crow's nest.
Everyone likes shooting kegs, so why not point it out and make a competition out of it? First person to shoot the kegs gets the board first. Anyway, I hope this helps the young combaters of the world out there. And one last thing I can't stress more. If a crew works together and communicates well, they're more likely to beat most of the crews they'll ever find on the seas. A crew that works together is a crew that stays afloat. Stay communicating, people, and
Later.